How I use AI every single day in every single thing that I'm doing, and why you should be doing it as well. So, my office is looking a little bit bare, as you can see. There's not much of a fancy background going off. I have got my computer in front of me just because I've got some reference things that I'm going to speak about when I'm going through how to actually use AI day to day. But the first thing that you need to understand with artificial intelligence is basically it comes down to how you adopt to it in terms of your mindset and your belief systems. When you properly get into AI and understand how to use AI in different contexts and different situations with the right tools, it is impossible not to see the absolute 100% power of it. So you've probably heard me speak about in previous videos and other areas. I'm completely and utterly against using AI for replacing someone's personal brand. I think that that's the biggest USB that people are going to have in this day and age now. I'm against using AI until it's a lot better with appointment setting, because I've seen a few people destroy their accounts with it, or they've had to then spend a substantial amount of money on top of funnel traffic to be able to fulfill it. And I think that the AI chatbot side just comes down to a bit of responsibility, in my opinion. If I ever get to a point of using a AI chatbot for my Instagram, for example, I'd give it a name like Hawkbot. I just personally would never want someone to think that they're speaking to me, but they're actually speaking to a AI chatbot system. But that's not to say that that won't change going into the future, because if it gets a lot better and a lot better, and then loads of people are using it, then we'll just make a decision from there. So how to actually use AI day to day is, oh God, falling over, is to basically look at a starting point in terms of what are you currently doing, right? There is absolutely nothing that I don't use AI for now when it comes to decision making, when it comes to processing information, when it comes to outputs, when it comes to everything. But the first thing that you need to understand and adopt to is the actual mindset around it. There is nothing that I've ever seen in business which is as effective and as powerful as this type of stuff. So for me, I will use AI day to day when it comes to quick questions, when it comes to diagnostics. One of my favorite things to do from a marketing standpoint is to basically process sales call transcripts and Loom transcripts and client call transcripts to work out what someone's thinking processes are and their methodology. I can also hack into the most frequent and used pain points on sales calls, so they can then come to the forefront of email marketing and for content. So rather than the guesswork, you're literally just extracting directly what people are saying to you. I will also go to different lengths. So, for example, I went on to who was it, Julian, the other day when I hacked into all of his, right? And in a 30-minute period, I was able to basically hack into all of his transcripts across the board, develop an offer which was a lot more aligned to what people were saying. I was able to extract all of the sales call pain points that are most repeated. So out of hundreds of documents, what are the 30 most repeated pain points to talk about on front end? I was then able to actually extract the niche pain quotes that people are directly saying about themselves, so that can use within content and use within marketing. I was then also able to merge the pain of someone of his niche with his offer and also his actual own beliefs and stories and experiences, due to him completing this human knowledge document that I have for people when it comes to AI. So he's now got a content strategy which is leaning into his own lived experiences, which is something that I think you need to be doing at the moment, and ongoingly with the AI revolution, because your personal brand is this USB. Your core messaging system is the USB, like you'll see on some of the live consults and when it explains that. But then I can also follow up after that with the niche pain and quotes about that. So when you're looking at accuracy of copywriting and accuracy of content and how words make people move, like it is absolutely ridiculous. From that, I can design email nurturing sequences, VSL scripts, a VSL funnel. I can design what would be best lead magnets to use and the highest converting. I can do so much just from hacking transcripts as a starting point. But I don't just use it for that. So for me, what I do now is I'm at this point now with AI where the main thing that I try to do is that's for Claude. I do all that on. I use ChatGPT in different ways. I will use that for quick information mass processing. So when it comes to our KPI sheet, so for example, if I went onto a KPI sheet on here where I've got all of my personal media KPIs, all of my company KPIs, all of the emails, appointment settings, sales, profile visit ads, live webinars, workshops, everything, and I've got this dashboard, I can pretty much then copy that into ChatGPT with the right prompt and instruction to get a full assessment on how I improve my business on a 7-day basis, because I've inputted that information manually. And that's what you need to remember with AI, is like it's only as good as the information that you give it, and it's only as good as the actual guidance that you give it as well. So for me, I will run KPIs through there. I will also then look at my own thinking processes and my own repeatable things on a day-to-day basis. So I, for example, have a custom GPT which processes a discovery call into a 10 problems list and then also presents all the opportunities with it in priority order. I have a GPT which is a message summary. So I work with hundreds of business owners who are quite subjective, and sometimes they will put a huge essay, which I absolutely love because more information the better. But for me to reply to that at high level, I can process that message through this custom GPT, and it then breaks their message down into numbered sections. So it means that I can then go underneath, create a bullet point, and reply to each part of the message and not miss a single thing, which is absolutely ridiculous since I built that. I'm also building out a custom GPT, which is a connection to Score App. So it'll basically be an assessment on the strength and position of someone's personal brand and the strength that they have adopted to AI. And I'll be able to process their answers from the Score App assessment into a custom GPT to give them a thorough report on all the areas that they need to run to use. Like there's crazy different stuff. Even little bit areas like I have a custom GPT which processes a sales call transcript into a step-by-step to-do list based on what's been discovered on a document and what's been discovered on the call. So this is the type of stuff where you need to think about. It might be building a lead magnet, it might be creating hooks or a viral content style that you've got, or it may be a repeatable task that you've got inside your business. But that is what I predominantly use OpenAI for, is the custom GPT basis, is what tools can I have to replace all of the time consuming and repeatable tasks that I have, and what kind of things then can I bring forward, which is a lot more creative. So I've got a client, Cal Raystrick, at the moment, who's got 2 info course products. We were talking about two GPTs yesterday that I'm going to build for them. So one will be a lead magnet where a coach can submit their Loom transcript into the custom GPT, and it will then give them a step-by-step framework on how they can improve with their coaching delivery. Ridiculous shit. Another one for Pro IQ is basically how I'm building a prep and timeline planner. So for example, the client or the lead will input an image of their client and isolate the show date, and then it'll build them a timeline skeleton plan based on the IP from Pro IQ. So that's the most important part. I'm not just asking for random shit. I'm inputting specific instructions that I want for the actual output as well. I've also got an appointment setting company where I've got a DM fix GPT, we've got an objection GPT, we've got an interaction GPT assessment. So these would be absolutely unreal tools who I'm actually bringing in as a partner, because I'm currently building an info course, done for you product, and done with you, which is going to be a new coach consultant partnership for trust-based conversations appointment setting, because not the bullshit spam that you see elsewhere. But that's what I use ChatGPT for. It's like, it's about how can I create all of these things to make me 10 times faster, but also make me better as well. And the functionality that you can use on there is also absolutely ridiculous. So the more creative that you are, and the more that you think about how can I be more efficient, the more that you can maximize ChatGPT, in my opinion, because the custom GPTs are just absolutely frightening when you get them right. But I'll also use a general chat for just kind of constant fast information, because it processes outputs really, really quickly. On top of that, for ChatGPT, if I'm looking at research and diagnostics, so if I want to look at a competitor's website, or if I want to compound information on one another, I'll look at how I can basically process that through ChatGPT. So that's how I split the two. Like, look, there's other tools that I use. Like we've got this other one at the moment, which is like 5-in-1, and you've seen so many different videos on me talking through all of these different tools. But like for me, Claude, when it comes to copywriting and analytical thinking with a human bias, and how you compound IP on top of each other. So, for example, I can run assessments on a client's company based on assessing the transcripts based on what they've got on the front end and making sure that things are actually matching. So, Claude is just absolutely frightening for building and writing stuff, right? When it comes to ChatGPT, I predominantly personally use that mostly for speed, efficiency, basically doing things at high level and creativity elements with like custom GPTs as well. And then the third thing that I use mostly from that point is then Gamma. So obviously I can build out a lead magnet, or I can build out a live workshop or a client asset, or something for an event in seconds, just with using ChatGPT, Claude, and Gamma combined and merging together. And they've just been absolutely life-changing for me. And then we have other ones like 11 Labs and everything else. But the stuff that I use day to day is going to be an overview of what I've just discussed there. So OpenAI for all the areas that I said, and Claude for all those areas that I said. And that's why I teach this, because the stuff that you can do now removes guesswork, increases speed and accuracy on a level that we've never seen before. But most importantly, it removes you as the bottleneck. Like I've spoke about on previous videos, I've gone from a team of 17 to a team of 7 while now being able to do more, a lot better at high level because of AI. But what it can't do is it can't replace your personal brand. And that's why I'm going to bring loads of videos on what personal branding is, because one of the big problems that I find at the moment with business owners is they may have got to a point of having virality with the content, but they're not earning any money from it. And that's because they're seeing personal brand as a followers list. But for me, personal branding comes down to trust. It comes down to connection. It comes down to identity. It comes down to making sure you've got a right messaging system and your offer is really, really clear. Because there's no point in having loads of followers if you've not got loads of money. So yeah, anyway, back onto what this video is about. That is literally an easy step-by-step walkthrough on how I use AI on a day-to-day basis for myself and my own business, alongside many other different businesses out there as well. And what I love about AI as well is if you do have a different company formation coming in. So I've got a yacht wrapper client at the moment, and I was like, do you know, it'd be a really cool GPT for you to use, where someone could input an image of their yacht. We upload your brochure and color scheme. Someone selects the color, and then the GPT gives them the picture of their yacht back in the new color as if it's been wrapped. So this is what I mean. It's about being creative with it, because you can do some crazy level stuff in all businesses out there. There's loads of different lead scraping tools and whatever else. But yeah, just as a quick intro, as it stands, that's predominantly where I spend most of my time. And just from an adoption mindset is, you have to get used to just using it every single day. Little tips like I have ChatGPT and Claude as a app open on the bottom of my desktop and on my computer, and also on my phone. So when I go to, I need to do that manually, like I'm just reminded AI. It took me a fair few months, but now there's not a single thing that I do not do with AI, with outputs, with processing, with checking, analyzing, fact checking, diagnostics. Like, you would not believe it. And the deeper that you get into it, the more that you start to see. For me, this really is a case of open your eyes, genuinely open your eyes, because if you're not adopting to it, you will absolutely kick yourself down the line when you see people who are potentially much less performance than you in business, but they're suddenly starting to accelerate forwards and do loads of crazy stuff. It will be because of AI in every way, shape, and form. So yeah, and that's basically what we do at the Coach Consultant. We show you how to adopt AI, scale lead generation, scale assets, build out offers. We show you how to build a personal brand. We show you the absolute lot. And I have step by step, obsessive structures with documented SOPs and short videos, which are fast integrations. I have a one-to-one Propel program, and obviously my Titans one-to-one program as well. So we do that because I want to support businesses at all levels. I don't see it as someone needs to be earning X amount of money to be able to get business support. And that's why I'd rather have 3 different entry-level points available for where someone is at and the type of support that they need. So yep, hope you enjoyed this video on how I use AI on a day-to-day basis.